If you only watch one video about Streamlabs OBS, make sure it's this one because it's all you need. Hey, what's up? Jelle here with the Video Nerd and welcome to the Streamlabs OBS Master Course. In today's class, I will teach you how to stream on Twitch with Streamlabs OBS and I will also show you how to add this. And we just got a new subscriber. What about you subscribing to my YouTube channel for more tips and tricks to grow your Twitch, YouTube and social media? This will be a long tutorial, so grab a cup of coffee and let's go. First of all, we need to download Streamlabs OBS. If you haven't done that yet, click the first link in my description to go to the download page, download it, install it, and then let's set up our Twitch stream. Let's start with changing the streaming settings, which we need to go online. And while doing that, I will also explain the extra settings which are important to you to become a successful streamer. If you are only here for the graphics and the alerts, you can go to this time in the video. When we are in the Streamlabs OBS program, on your top right you can click on the settings icon. If you ever screw up big time, here in the general tab you can reset your cache, but be careful because this will remove your settings, your overlays which you set up, so only use this as a last resort. Something many people ask me about is if you can stream and record at the same time. And yes, you can. Right here in the general settings, you can set it up. You just have to scroll down a bit and there you can enable automatically record while streaming. However, you should know that it's very resource intensive for your computer to game, stream and record at the same time. And if your PC can't handle it, it will crash. Trust me, it happened to me. Next up is the streaming tab, and since this is a Twitch guide, I will obviously choose Twitch right here. You can leave the server location on auto and then just add your stream key right here. If you do not know where to find your stream key, go to Twitch, click on your profile icon, go to settings and then click on channel and videos. Right there you should be able to copy your stream key. Now go back to Streamlabs OBS and paste your stream key right here. So then the output settings, this is what most of you guys have questions about, so I will try to once and for all give an explanation that's so good and so easy to understand that you will never have a question about this ever again. Because I think as a streamer it's important to at least have a basic understanding of this stuff. So what we are setting up in the output settings is what method your PC should use to compress the gaming footage, what quality the compression should be, and how small the final compressed file should be. The smaller the file, the easier to upload to your stream and the easier for the viewer to download and watch your stream. Let's start with selecting which method you should use to do the encoding. If the NVENC or the NVENC new option is available for you, then you should choose that one. If it isn't available for you because you do not have a NVIDIA graphics card or your card is older than the 900 or 1000 series, I'm not sure, then you should use software 264 encoding. We will start with setting up the NVENC encoding and after that I will show you how to set up the software 264 encoding. So let's choose NVENC new and then set up everything. As your rate control, you should choose CBR, which is constant bitrate. Then for your bitrate, I will talk about this right after these settings. Your keyframe interval should be 2. Your preset should be set to max quality. Your profile to high. You should enable look ahead. Then enable psycho visual tuning because this will improve your quality in moving scenes. Set your GPU to 0 and your max B-frames to 2. The last thing to set up is our bitrate. Now what is bitrate? It's the amount of data we upload to our stream each second. Now before setting this up, there are a few things we need to take into consideration. The first thing is our own upload speed. The second thing is our Twitch level, so starter, affiliate or partner. And the third thing is the upload speed of our viewer. Let's start with why your viewer's internet speed is important. Now you already know that your bitrate is the amount of data you send to your stream each second. Now guess what? Your viewer has to download the same amount of data each second to watch your stream. When your bitrate is set too high and the viewer has a slower internet speed, he will not be able to watch your stream without buffering. Now you should always assume that your viewer's internet sucks, because most of the time that is the case, and you really cannot afford, especially as a small streamer, that someone wants to view your stream but he can't because he's buffering, because that will lose you a viewer, a follower, a subscriber. You never know. Don't risk it. Now you could say, hey, many streamers stream in 1080p 60 fps, but I have the option to lower the quality of the stream, so what's the problem? Everyone will be able to watch the stream. Well, this option is called transcoding, but it's not available for everyone. That brings me to the second factor, your Twitch level. The only ones who are guaranteed to get this option are Twitch partners. Twitch affiliates have more chance than starters who are not affiliated yet to get the transcoding option, but they are not guaranteed. So I think, and many other streamers think, that you should not take the risk that a viewer cannot watch your stream because the transcoding options are not available for you that streaming session. If you really do not care about this and you just want to stream in the highest quality available, then stream in 1080p and 60 fps, but instead I advise you to stream in 720p and 30 fps, because then your stream quality is still high enough and almost everyone will be able to watch your stream. To determine whether your upload speed is high enough to stream in this bitrate, go to speedtest.net and check your upload speed. It will be in megabits per second, so you need to multiply it by 1000 to convert it to kilobits per second. My upload speed is 19,000 kilobits per second. Now of course you shouldn't see your maximum upload speed as the upload speed you can handle, because there are other things that are happening on your internet, for example your game, or your partner who is uploading a new YouTube video or something like that. So I advise you to keep a 25% margin for other internet activities. So that means that my upload speed is 15,000 kilobits per second. So as long as the resulting kilobits per second you are getting from this calculation is higher than the 2500 minimum kilobits per second to stream in 720p, you will have no problem streaming. I will use something in the middle like 3000 kilobits per second. To set up software 264 encoding when NVENC new or NVENC isn't available for you, select software 264 right here and then let's set this up right now. Enable enforce streaming service encoding settings, so we are encoding in the way that Twitch likes it, and disable rescale output because we will do the scaling in the video tab in a minute. Rate control should be CBR, which stands for constant bitrate, and let's set the bitrate to something between 2500 and 4000 kilobits per second to stream in 720p 30 fps. I will take 3000. Disable use custom buffer size and set the keyframe interval to 2, since that's what Twitch asks for on their charts. For the profile, Twitch asks to use main or high, so let's set it to high. I will leave the tune at none and leave this box blank. Now I skipped the CPU usage preset on purpose because that's the last thing you should set up. After you're done with setting all these things up and you are ready to stream, you should test this setting out. The faster you select right here, the less CPU intensive it will be. So when you are ready to stream, open every program that you will use while streaming, set the CPU usage to ultra fast and then start your stream. While streaming, you can monitor your CPU usage at the bottom left corner of the Streamlabs OBS program. If you see that your CPU could handle more, turn this setting up a notch and select super fast. If that's still no problem, then select very fast, you understand it. I wouldn't go further than fast because it will really stress your CPU and it's really not worth it. So I will use very fast for now. We will skip the recording settings for now because we will go over that in a separate video in the Streamlabs OBS master course. Okay, and then the audio tab. The only thing you should change here is the mic auxiliary device 1 and you should select your microphone right here. That will be all for this tab. Then the video tab. The base canvas resolution is the resolution of the monitor you will be streaming on. For me that's this one, since I have a 1440p monitor. For most people this will be 1920 by 1080. Select your highest resolution right here. The output scaled resolution is the resolution you chose to stream in. So let's select 1280 by 720 to stream in 720p. Set the downscale filter to Lanxos, the FPS type to common FPS values, and then select the FPS you chose on the Twitch encoding chart. I will use 30, so we will be streaming in 720p 30 FPS. You can take a look at the hotkeys tab yourself and decide which ones you find useful. To add multiple keys to one function, you can press the plus icon so you can add another key. You shouldn't really change anything in the advanced tab, but something many people ask is how to add a stream delay, and that's right here. You can enable it and then choose how many seconds the delay should be. That will be all for this tab. Then the scene collections. Right now this is an experimental feature, but maybe when you're watching the guide it will be baseline already. It's an amazing feature, but it doesn't work completely yet, at least not for me. You can export an overlay file that contains your whole scene setup, including all the images or animations that are part of your scene. Just press export overlay file, choose a destination, and Streamlabs OBS will create one single file that contains everything. Obviously with import overlay you can then import your file again on another computer or on the same computer if you, for example, had to clear your cache and you now have to reinstall all the overlays. I did a test and for me it only works if my scene doesn't contain any big images or video files. Future updates will probably fix this. Then the notification settings should not be changed, and in the appearance tab you can switch to a bright version of Streamlabs OBS, but I do not like that, so I won't do that. The remote control tab is for when you are using the remote control application. We will discuss this in a future class in the Streamlabs OBS master course. Let's go back to the editor. When you would press go live right now, your stream should go online, but of course it would only be a black screen since we didn't add any graphics yet. Streamlabs offers free themes and alerts, but we will not be using that right now because many people want to add a custom graphics pack, something someone else made for them or they found online, so that's what we will be installing today. If you are interested in the themes by Streamlabs OBS, there is a guide about that in the Streamlabs OBS master course. To make sure you can follow, I will use a free overlay. I will put the link in the description so you can download that and then follow the whole tutorial together with me. Just scroll down to the bottom and there you will find 3 overlay packs. In this tutorial we will set up the blue one. It even contains panels. It's perfect to start and make your stream completely in one theme. After a while you can then create your own overlay or buy it somewhere. So let's download the overlay and unpack it somewhere on your computer. Now to change your name and your social links on the graphics, you will need to edit them with Adobe Photoshop, but I'm sure you can get your hands on a version of that or let someone else edit them for you because it's only changing the text. Note that I deleted the your name and the line on the webcam overlay because it's covering my head when I stream. In Photoshop, just create a layer mask, select it, then pick a brush with a black color and then just paint over it to remove it. You can then export it as a PNG file and use it for your stream. So then when we go back to the Streamlabs OBS editor, on your left you have these scenes. You should think of these as folders that hold a bunch of source files which you can find in the middle. The source files work in layers just like in Photoshop. Here you will have your game capture, your webcam, your overlay, maybe your chat, and you will also link your alerts right here in the source files. So this is everything that is shown on your stream. Then next to that you have the mixer, which is where all your audio devices will be shown, so you can adjust the volume of them separately. You can also set up some real-time audio editing called filters, but we will set that up later in the tutorial. When we click on scenes, we can make a scene collection. This is useful, for example, if you stream multiple games and your overlay placement is different for each game, or if you do gaming but also IRL streams, then your webcam placement will be different, etc. Most of the time I will stream Overwatch, so I will call my scene collection Overwatch. Now let's make a new scene and call it main or in-game or something like that. The first source which we will add is our game. So click on the plus icon to create a new source. Here we can choose between all types of sources. You can check them all out on your own, but today we will add the most important ones and the most common ones. To capture our game, we will choose game capture. Give it a name and then in the settings window you need to select the mode. If you play the game in full screen, you can leave it at capture any full screen application, but if you do play on windowed mode, or for some reason the capture any full screen application setting doesn't pick up your game, you can select capture specific window, and then in the window drop down that appears, you can select your game. There are some more options right here, but the only two that really matter are capture cursor and capture third party overlays. If you want people to see, for example, the in-game Steam overlay where you can chat and stuff, then you can select this, but for most people this will not be the case. Capture cursor will obviously enable or disable your cursor on screen for the viewer. Next, we will add our webcam. So add a new source, and this time we will choose video capture device. Call it webcam, and you should see your webcam being added to the scene. If the proportions of your webcam aren't correct, if it's squeezed or something like that, set the resolution FPS type to custom and choose your resolution right here. This should fix the issue. Now just click done and rescale and reposition your webcam to where you want it to be. And I will remind you again that the sources in Streamlabs OBS work like layers in Photoshop, so make sure your webcam is above your gaming capture, because otherwise your webcam will be hidden. Now let's add the webcam border. Add a new source, and this time you will need to select image. Call it webcam border and click on add new source. Now click browse and search for the facecam file in the graphics pack which we just downloaded. If you didn't download it yet, the link is in the description. Click done, and then let's scale and position the border to fit our webcam. A very handy feature is that you can lock your sources right here, so if you move stuff around, you don't accidentally move your game capture or something like that. If the aspect ratio of your webcam is different to that of the overlay, then position one corner of the overlay and then grab the corner on the opposite side while holding shift down to adjust the position and the aspect ratio. Another handy feature is that you can select a couple of sources and then create a group by clicking on this folder icon. This way you can drag them together, so let's group the webcam and the border right now, because they will always have to stick together. Some people do not use a header because they think it's something from the past or it's ugly, but for the sake of the tutorial we will be adding one right now. Add a new source, choose image again, browse for the header in the pack, it's called overlay, and then position it correctly. To make sure it's exactly in the middle, you can use the pixels on the side of the frame. Something of a little trick is that you can change the color of most overlays by adding a color correction filter on them. Select one of your overlay elements, then right click it in the sources and select filters. Then click on the plus icon and choose color correction. Click done and then move the hue shift slider. This can mess with your colors, so use it at your own risk. The third window at the bottom is something we didn't talk about yet. Here you see the audio sources which you did add in the settings. If you do not see your desktop audio or your microphone yet, go to the audio settings again and then set up your audio devices right there. Click done and now you can adjust these two sliders. If you have a lot of noise, you can remove that by clicking on the settings icon next to your microphone source and select filters. Clicking on the plus icon and then choosing noise suppression. You will have to play with this slider to see what works best for you, but it's really good at reducing noise. Something else a lot of people want to add to their stream is stream labels for example top donator, recent follower, etc. I will set up one label with you guys right now for recent follower, and then you can set up any other label you want yourself, because there are a lot of options and it's all the same process. Add a new source and under widgets click on stream label. Call it recent follower and then press add new source. The first drop down is to select the type of label, so search for the most recent follower and select it. In the label template box you can choose to write a message or only show the name. Let's write recent follower in front of the name. Customize your text with all these settings, then press done, and let's reposition it a bit so we can see it better. If you want no motion in this text, then this is all you have to do, but if you want the text to scroll, then right click on it in your sources and select filters. Click on the plus icon to add a new filter and choose scroll. Click done and here we can give it some horizontal speed. A problem you might run into is that the text string begins immediately without some space. To fix this, double click on recent follow to go to the options and add some blank spaces after the name. Now click done, wait a moment and it should be fixed. A quick note, if you do not want the text recent follow to scroll but only the name of the follower, then add a normal text source, give it a name, then write recent follow and adjust all these settings to the same as your label. Press done and then change the recent follow label to just the name. Now reposition them and it should work. It's as easy as that. Adding a chat box is really simple. Just add a new source, then under widgets click chat box, adjust some style settings on the right and click done. Position the chat box and that's everything you have to do. I will type something in my Twitch chat so you can see how it looks on stream. Amazing! The stream pack also came with an intermission or be right back screen, so let's add that right now. Add a new scene on your left and call it be right back or intermission. Then add a new image source and browse for the intermission overlay. Click done and then rescale and position it. The only thing we should add here is our webcam, so just create a new video capture device. Now we need to lock the overlay and then position our webcam under the overlay in the sources. Then reposition it correctly and you're done. You can now swap between scenes by clicking them in your scene window. Now let's go back to our main scene and at the most important part of our stream, the alerts. Since people love seeing their name on the screen, a well set up and very visible alert will encourage people to follow, subscribe or donate just so they can see their name appearing on your stream. Now we could set up the alerts with Streamlabs OBS by adding a new source and then choosing alert box, but I had some problems while setting up my alerts with this tool, so we will be adding them the old-fashioned way. Go to streamlabs.com and log in with your Twitch account. Then click on widgets on your left and on alert box. Right here we can set up all our alerts. You can go with the basic ones like most people use, but most of the stream graphic packs have custom alert graphics, as does the pack we are setting up right now, so we will make custom alerts. To make sure we can preview the alert, copy this link on top and go to your Streamlabs OBS program. Add a new source and choose browser source. Now name the alert and then replace the link right here. After that click done and then divide your screen in two parts. One part for the Streamlabs website and one part for the OBS program. Here on top you can enable or disable certain alerts and with these grey buttons you can test them. Under that you can go to the settings for each separate alert. I will show you an example of what we will be setting up right now. I did already set up the follow alert so you know what we are working towards. And I will now show you how to set up the subscription alert because that's almost the same as the follow alert. So click right here on subscriptions and then make sure it's enabled. As your layout you should choose the middle one because we want our text to be displayed on top of the image we are using. Here you can change the animation of how the alert enters the screen, but I will leave it as it is. You can disable the alert for Twitch Prime subs, but if I were you, I would not do that. Now here our message template is the message that will be shown on screen. The name between parentheses will display the name of the person subscribing to you. For example, you could write, "Thanks for subscribing, name." The result of that will look like this. Then you can also choose the animation of this text right here, but I will not change that. Here at image we need to select the alert graphic from our graphics pack. Click on change media and click on drag and drop upload. Now browse for the templates pack and in the alerts folder we have 3 alerts. One for follower, one for subscriber and one for donation. Let's choose the subscriber one and continue. To add your sound, click on change media for the sound and on your left go to sounds under the stock files. Choose a sound which you like and click select. Now we aren't quite done yet and let me show you why. Scroll to the bottom and save the alert. Now wait a few seconds to let it process in the background and then on top click on test subscription. You will see in the Streamlabs OBS window that the position of the text is not correct and also that the message appears on stream and we only want the name in the box because there's no place for the text. To change these things we need to edit the source code, but don't worry because it's pretty straightforward. First scroll down to the HTML window. Now let's delete the text under the name of the person. Delete this alert text div and then also delete this user message div right here. You will see at the bottom that something turns red and you can just delete it. Now the only visible thing that's left is the alert message div. This contains, as you can see right here, the message template. And when we scroll up, we can see our message template right here. It only contains the name of the person subscribing. Now save it at the bottom and let's see what changed. You might have to wait some time or save it again for it to be applied. I don't know why that happens, but yeah, have some patience. If nothing changed for you, you did not make a mistake, it just needs time to process in the background, wait a bit and then check again and it will be changed. So now that the alert is updated, we see that the name appears completely at the top of our alert box. To move it down and position it inside our alert graphic, we need to add a margin on top so it gets pushed down. To do this, we have to write one line of script. Go to the code window, but just above it, change it to CSS. Here we will be able to change the style of our message template. For that, scroll down till you find alert message span. This is the message template. So under display inline block, create a new line and write this. Margin top 290 pixels and then end it with a semicolon. Now there will be 290 pixels of blank space above our alert message. So save it at the bottom, wait some time, save it again and then click test subscription to see if the position is correct this time. And it worked. If you are using another graphic or for you it doesn't fit, then change the amount of pixels right here till the position is correct. For the follower alert, you don't need to delete any text in the HTML, you only need to go to the CSS and then add the margin on top just like we did with this alert. Now I will quickly show you how to set up the donation alert. Now people often donate just to send a message to the streamer, so you could say that it's bad to delete the message of the donation on the screen, but there's always text to speech, so I do not think that that's a real problem. Click on donations and make sure it's enabled and select the middle layout. Here we cannot delete the text of the message template because we need to know who just donated and how much. You can change it of course, but do not delete the name and the amount donated. Change the image to the donation alert graphic, choose a sound and then go to the HTML. If for some reason it's empty, just click inside it and the code will show up. Now delete the alert text, alert user message and then the div at the bottom. Go to the CSS and search for alert message span. Create a new line under display and write margin top 290 pixels and close it with a semicolon. Save the settings, wait a bit and check the alert and it works. Now of course the text is purple and that doesn't look good, so to change the color go back to the settings, open font settings and here you can customize the text to your liking. If you change the font, you will probably need to resize the text to make it fit well in your alert graphics and maybe change the pixels of the margin that we added on top in the CSS code. Now for the other alerts, there is no custom graphic included in this pack, but this is a perfect opportunity to show you the other way, the simple way to add graphics to your stream. Let's quickly set up the hosting alert. Click on hosts, choose the first layout, type whatever you want in the message template, but make sure to use the name and the viewer count. Choose a GIF by clicking on change media, stock files, images, and then double click a GIF. Choose your sound like we did before, adjust the font settings to your liking and save it at the bottom. This is everything for the visual part. There are some settings you can change, for example a minimum amount of viewers hosted to show the alert, so you can adjust these settings on your own. Every other alert is almost the same, so just read through them and set them up like you want. The final thing that came with the package is the panels and an offline screen. If you already know how to set that up, go to this time in the video, but for now let's set them up. Go to your Twitch profile and enable the panel editor right here. Click on the plus icon and click on add a text or image panel. Now click add image and search for the graphics pack. There's a folder called panels and it comes with many different panels. Choose one and click open, and now select the whole panel and click done. Add some text, click submit and disable the panel editor again, and as you can see, the panel has been added. Now let's add the offline screen. Click on your profile icon in the top right hand corner and choose settings. Now go to channel and videos, and right here under the video player banner you can upload your offline screen, which you can also find in the graphics pack. This was a very long video, and if you're still here, thank you so much. I'm sure I will not have to try hard to make you listen to me for 20 more seconds. Remember that this was only one of the videos in the Streamlabs OBS Master Course playlist. If you want to learn more about Streamlabs OBS, click on the playlist right there to go watch all my other tutorials on that. Thank you so much again. Please like, subscribe, share the video, comment. All those things help me to grow my channel and to reach more people. And yeah, I will see you in my next video. Have a good day.